What's bothering you in your parenting? Do you know? Maybe you're like I used to be, afraid or literally terrorized that your kids won't come back to you every time they go through the door because they're acting in potentially dangerous ways, or you just are suffering from anxiety. Or maybe you keep on arguing with your teen about school, or maybe there is an anger issue that is rising up every time you interact with them. Today, I'm inviting you to examine what is bothering you, even if you don't know the exact reason, but you know that something is in your way. That's for you today, because we're going to talk about what you can do to change that. Not your teen, not anyone around you, because as you know, the power to make things change in our life is always within us, and it starts with us. And we're like disco balls. Whatever is active in us will activate the same facet in the other. So today I'm inviting you, I'm proposing to you some ways to change what is active in you to get a different response in the other. And even if you don't get a different response, because sometimes, let's be frank, with teens, they will do whatever they will do, you won't be as bothered. So if that seems interesting to you, if that seems that's something you need, stay tuned. And if you know someone who could benefit from that, invite them to the group. We are doing this on Facebook, but I'm also posting that everywhere. So invite them to our Single Moms Doing It All group. If you're new to me, my name is Muriel Felous. I am a life coach, certified quantum life coach, EFT or emotional freedom technique / tapping specialist, and I'm also an advanced Reiki practitioner, which means that I includes some energetical aspects in everything I teach, and a spiritual level. So let's go back to what's bothering you. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you're not sure. Maybe you just know you don't like the interactions with your teen. Maybe you anticipate something every time it happens. Start thinking about it. What do you anticipate in a negative way? I know that for myself, like I shared, every time they went out, or especially if they were going to kickbacks or parties, I was in full anxiety because I knew they were very adventurous and experimental, and I didn't know if they wouldn't make a decision that could potentially harm them. Maybe that also happened in my house and in the house of a lot of moms that I coach. You anticipate every discussion you're going to have with your teen because you know it's going to end up in an argument. So you're already preparing yourself for the conflict before you even go. And that's in your way. Whatever your scenario is, it can be something that you're doing, like a lot of moms. And that makes me laugh because when we tap on it, they end up laughing about it because I have a way to insert humor in the tapping and in the session so that it gets associated with the situation. And next time it happens, you have a tendency to laugh and chuckle internally instead of getting mad. You promise yourself that today you're going to stay zen no matter what. You're not going to get mad. No matter what they're throwing in your face, no matter what they're doing, you are going to stay zen. And here we are again. You go into it, something is too strong for your zenhood, and you end up getting mad. And then you beat yourself up afterward because you're like, I'm the mature adult. I should be able to maintain my emotional state. Well, that's not how it works. Something in you has been triggered. So, what is it that you're doing? What is it that you're feeling? Or what is it that you are being or thinking that is in your way from you parenting with more ease, with more resourcefulness, etc., etc.? If you don't know, let's do a quick exercise. Close your eyes and put your hand on your heart and connect with that part of you that knows everything. That part of you that is not only connected to you as a human being, but to you as a true spiritual, energetic being. And ask, if there was something I needed to let go of, what would it be with my parenting? And see what comes. Can be a feeling, can be a memory, can be an image, a word, a state of being, a thought. What came up for you? And if that's too fast as an exercise to really pinpoint, I invite you to come back to this later and journal about it. What I need to let go of in my parenting is, and you put a timer, 5 minutes, you do not lift your pen, you do not stop writing. If you have to write over and over again, you write over and over again. And if you're here live, say hello and just say wherever you're watching, or share with us, what do you feel you need to let go of in your parenting? I shared some of mine with you. I'm always very transparent, no matter how sometimes there is so much shame attached to stuff in our society. I want to share it with you because that way you don't feel alone. I used to think I was crazy when I was afraid that my kids would die every time they went through the door. And sometimes it even had nothing to do with the fact that they were adventurous. Sometimes it was just because I knew that the world has potential dangers. And I was living in anxiety because I was entertaining a thought that didn't serve me. And I was doing something like trying to protect them 24/7. It's impossible. I know it's a tendency that we may have as moms, but it's impossible. And until I realized what my areas of power were and what my areas of powerlessness were, and I dealt with that and the fear of that, I was living in anxiety. So maybe it's you. So today I'm inviting you to really examine that. And once you have an idea, ask yourself fully, ask yourself for real, without lying to yourself, can I let go of it? And maybe you won't get a yes or a no, because most of the time people don't. But you will get something in your body that will resist. And then you will know that you're not ready to let go of that. So if you are ready, the next question is, what do I need to do to let it go? And that when you can have, you can use tapping. And if you want to use tapping, if you want to really practice it with us, join us on ClubHouse. I put the ClubHouse link in that video in the description because I started a tapping EFT group where you will be able to talk to me anonymously if you want, not put your picture or your name on your profile, or just by voice on audio, and let me know what your issue is so we can tap on your issue. That's another avenue for you to be able to get customized coaching for me for free. Maybe it's easier for you to talk than to tap on Facebook. And you will connect with other moms who will be attracted to that, and other women and people who are attracted to that EFT club. We also have a conscious parenting club, and that's the club I put in here actually. So if you know what it is and you want help to let it go with tapping, join us for tapping. If you don't know what it is, you can, we were at the point, let me go back. We were at the point that you knew what it was, either a feeling, a thought, something you're doing. And you can let it go, yes, and you'll find a way of letting it go because you're resourceful and you have what it takes to do no matter what you have to do. That's the major, major, major affirmation that I want you to practice on a regular basis. I have what it takes to deal with whatever is presented to me. Because as a single mom, that was a life-saving when I was in depression. Or no, you're not ready to let it go because your body is telling you you're not. That means that this belief or this pattern in you that leads you to do or feel, there it meets a need. Maybe you're not ready to let go of the anxiety because it makes you feel safe. I know it can be crazy, but it makes you feel safe because you have an illusion of control. When you, even if you are anxious about your kid, when you worry about it, it's an illusion of control. Let me know if it makes sense. Let me know if you've been there, because I've been there. I know how crazy it sounds, but I know how true it is on an emotional level. So maybe you're not ready to let go of what is in your way from parenting with more ease and more resourcefulness, because that very negative thing is linked to a belief that makes you feel safe or that makes you feel loved, that meets some kind of primal need for you. And in that case, ask yourself, what does it bring me? And journal. Journaling is very, very powerful. I always journal. I always have my clients journal. I always have my members in my membership journal. It is powerful, especially when you write without thinking, when you write under a time frame where you are not allowed to stop writing. Things start pouring out from your subconscious instead of your conscious that is trying to stay into the box. So what need does it mean? Does it meet? If we're going back to you being afraid of losing either a person or something in your life, if you haven't listened to my latest episode, it's posted in this group about Mindy Kinnis, who lost her husband. You will realize that although that's something that you never want to experience, loss, you will be provided with the tools that you need when it happens and if it happens. So what saved me from that fear, actually two aspects saved me. One is to relinquish and surrender what is not mine to the universe, to God. And the other one was to know that if something was going to happen, something like some kind of a tragedy, I can't stop it anyway. I don't think we're that powerful to stop somebody from dying when it's their time. I don't know what your beliefs are, but that's mine. And my other thing is, I don't want to worry about something that may never happen. So I'm not going to invest my energy into an investment that may never yield back. You know, I studied finance, so that kind of vocabulary really resonates. But for you, something that's not going to bring you something in return, that it's not sure. Don't even waste your precious energy that you could allocate to dealing with what's going on now in this present moment. And know that whatever happens in your life, you have what it takes and you will be provided with the tools to deal with whatever happens. It doesn't mean it's going to be pleasant always. Things happen in life. But we have what it takes and we are being provided with the tools. When you really affirm that in your heart over and over and over, and it starts really sinking into your cells at a body level, the anxiety is calming down. And when the anxiety is calming down, you can have access to your full brain because the blood flow is not reallocated to your limbs to fight or flight, which is what happens when we're anxious and on alert. So now, if we're talking about arguments constantly, if we're talking about schoolwork, maybe there's something you do that triggers that discussion to go to the next level. Maybe you're adding oil to the fire with the words you use. I was talking yesterday with a mom whose daughter ran away for a little bit and she had to call the police. And when they went back home, they went into another huge argument. There was a problem between her daughter, who is very angry because she went through stuff and she needs to be taken care of, she needs therapy, and her approach, which came from a beautiful, loving place, wanting to protect her daughter, wanting to affirm some boundaries, but using words that were literally negating all the power of her daughter, negating her being seen by her mother. She just felt that things were imposed on her, it was unfair, and nobody was seeing her. Maybe there are some words that you need to tweak, like always and never. Those, don't use them. Do you like it? If somebody comes to you and they say, oh, you always do that, and you know it's not true because we don't always do something. We most of the time maybe, but not always. And when you're already irritated, that will land and add oil to the fire. So maybe there are words you need to remove from your vocabulary. Maybe, like I frankly used to do, was too focused on what have you done for school? And that was the only thing we were talking about 24/7. Maybe you know that your teen is smoking weed and that's all you talk about. And you make all your relationship on that. That's the only interactions you have. Maybe you need to let go of that. And same thing, that's an illusion of control because you have the feeling that if you repeat it over and over and over, maybe something will change, maybe they will understand, maybe they will stop doing it. That doesn't have this effect actually. What you need is to feed and nurture the love in your interactions. So, as we said, we're supposed to be the mature one, right? It's not always the case because when we're triggered, we regress to a very young age inside us ourselves, and we ourselves become kids. So it's a kid with a kid. Not good. So map yourself. Last week in this group, we did an emotional mapping live to experience the emotion you wanted. By the way, I have an anecdote for that. So if you watched it, you know that I mapped my day for peace. And that I mentioned that ideas can come to you about what you want to feel, things you want to do maybe. And I mentioned that for me, peace resonates with nature, it resonates with candles. That same afternoon, I received by mail a candle from one of my business coaches. So if that's not alignment with peace, I don't know what it is. There are things like this that when you're aligned, things happen. So what do you need to let go of to align with more peace and ease and resourcefulness in your way of parenting? Start examining that. You can come tapping, you can meditate on it. I'm trying to look at my notes. Yes, so every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific time, we are in the Conscious Parenting Club. And every Wednesday at 1, I don't know yet if I'm going to do 1 or 1:30 because I need to look at my calendar, we'll be in the ClubHouse for EFT Tapping Together. That's the name of it. And I'll add the link for that in the description as well. You can come and tap. I don't know yet if we'll pick topics or if we'll just go with whomever is in the room and we'll just work with their problem because I know that on an energy level, you're going to be matched with what you need. So if you're in that room, that means the tapping will serve you in some way. And you'll have the possibility to tap on your own issue, maybe as I tap with someone else on their issue, or maybe you have the same issue. Moms have so much in common. Every time I coach someone, they're like, how do you know what I feel? Because we're the same. overall, we have the same kind of challenges. On a more intense or lower level, especially for single mom, it's very intense because you're alone in there. But they're very similar. So take advantage of the community, take advantage of the tools. If you don't change with everything that's out there nowadays, it's because you're not really ready to change. Sorry to tell you, you have so many free tools. If you need someone who's gonna hold a secret space, a coach like me, I'm available, other coaches are available. There are ways, there are more expensive ways, less expensive ways, free ways. If you don't change, you're not ready for changing, then be compassionate with yourself, admit that to yourself. You're not ready for changing, and that's okay. Just examine that. What is holding you back? So I think I've shared enough for today. So to recap, what do you need to let go of in your parenting? That can be something you do, something you feel, something you think. Just think about what's happening on a regular basis that you don't like, that you don't feel right with, or something is off, or something is difficult for you as a parent. And I'm talking about your side of the fence, not their side of the fence. Can you change it? So what do you need to let go of? Can you let it go? Yes or no? If yes, how? If no, why? What is it meeting for you as a need? Even if it's something negative, it means there is a payout or a payoff. I forgot how you say. But it brings you some kind of benefit. Examine what is that benefit. Can you meet that need? Can you feel that benefit in another way, in a more healthy way? And how to let it go? Go into affirmations, into tapping. Find a way that either calms the anxiety, if we're talking about the fear, knowing that you're not alone, knowing that you have what it takes, knowing that there are a lot of resources out there that you can learn. If we're talking about losing your calm, mapping in advance the experience, knowing what they're going to come at you with stuff, being ready and to feel loved anyway, because that's usually what's under the surface. Under the anger, there is hurt. So if you get angry, you've been hurt. So calming the hurt, refusing to be hurt. We give people permission to reach us on a subconscious level maybe, but we do. So calming that in advance, mapping yourself and tapping maybe, and finding other ways to associate that situation with something more positive. So I hope it helps. I know it will if you practice it. Journal. Journaling is an amazing tool. You will be surprised by what comes on the paper that you didn't think you thought. And join us in ClubHouse to tap on Wednesday or on Tuesday mornings to just talk and get some tools to practice conscious parenting and to co-parent with the universe. Tomorrow we're going to use use emotions as leverage, and in particular laughter, because I have a couple that comes to do a demonstration of laughter as a reset point for your body. I experienced their stuff once. It's amazing. So come join us, because that's not recorded. You won't be able to access it anywhere after. I wish you a wonderful, easier parenting, more joyful parenting. And I'll see you. I think I'm going to do that every Monday instead of Friday. That's easier during the day for me, and I'm sure for people who are watching. So until I see you again, be an amazing co-parent with the universe. Mwah.